We're not primarily self-contained individuals. We're social animals. We emerge out of relationships. Emotions are not separate from reason. They're the foundation of reason, because emotions tell us what to value, what to remember. They help us organize our mind. And so reading and educating the emotions is one of the central activities of wisdom. Why are the most socially attuned people on earth completely dehumanized when they think about policy? And we've tried every sort of bureaucratic reform for education, big schools, small schools, charters, vouchers, most of which have skirted the core issue, which is the individual relationship between a teacher and a student. People learn from people they love, and yet if you mention the word love at a congressional hearing, they look at you like you're Oprah. It's just not part of the mentality people use to talk about politics. This inability to talk about the things that are deepest within us affects the policy world, but I think it really starts far away in the way we raise our kids and the way we react to each other. So if you look at the way kids are raised today, we emphasize certain things that we think or we feel comfortable saying will lead to achievement. So if you go to an elementary school in sort of a middle-class American suburb, you'll see the kids coming out of third grade with these 80-pound backpacks on their backs, and like if the wind blows them over, they're like beetles sort of stuck there on the ground. And so they get picked up by the luxury cars will come up to pick them up from school in certain sorts of neighborhoods near where I live. They're usually Saabs, Audis, and Volvos, because it's socially acceptable to have a luxury car, so long as it comes from a country hostile to U.S. foreign policy. It's okay. And they go off to lead sort of affluent and successful lives, at least in a superficial sense. And you see them in Aspen or Jackson Hole, the sort of gathering places of the rich, and they look incredibly impressive. They're so tall and elegant and slender. They don't have thighs. They have like one calf on top of the other. It's just sort of a successful life, but a sort of a shallow life, sort of a dim awareness of what's deep, but not really a real awareness. Do you have the serenity and maturity to monitor the shortcomings of your own mind, what the scientists call metacognition? We're overconfidence machines. 95% of professors report that they are above average teachers. 96% of college students have above average leadership skills. Time magazine asked Americans, are you in the top 1% of earners? 19% of Americans are in the top 1% of earners. If you go into life thinking, I don't know all that much, I try to learn from other people, but if I had my way, then the world would be crazy because what I know is limited. And if my views were taken to the extreme, that would lead to ruin. And therefore I need people who disagree with me to balance me. Conversation flows out of a sense of your own limits. I need those people because I need the conversation to arrive at something moderately intelligent. It's no accident that, say, Rush Limbaugh has extreme views, but also a sense of humor styled on ego. Because if you have this large ego, you think, I know what I believe. I have principles. I know how the world should go, and the people who disagree with me are just in the way. And so, one of the things I mentioned, that polling statistic, very important person. I think that shift from a culture of self-effacement to a culture of sort of self-expansion has diminished that sense of self-limitation, and is one of the causes of the partisanship. Actually, one of my favorite lines, since we're in New York State, I should quote Daniel Patrick Moynihan, which is, the central conservative truth is that culture matters most, and the central liberal truth is that government can change culture. And the adaptation to wrap up tonight's talk is the central conservative truth, or the central human truth, is that the unconscious matters most, but the central uplifting truth is that we have the ability to educate our unconscious. So,
thank you very much.
Thank you. It was fun. It was fun.